What is going on, my Cardano friends? It's your friend Jack here, and today we're going to be talking about Charles Hoskinson's mission and why I believe that Charles Hoskinson is in DC not to lobby for Bison rights, but to actually push towards, cryptocurrency regulation in a positive light. Now, this is all speculation. I'm a guy in my mom's basement, and I really know nothing. So take everything I say with a grain of salt, please. And before we get into the episode, if you want to stake with my stake pool and help decentralize the Cardano network and earn passive ADA on your ADA, pretty much free money, then you can stake with my stake pool, Jack. But let's go into this. So Charles Hoskinson tweeted out 2 days ago, wandering the streets of DC, a pilgrim in an unholy land lobbying for bison rights. So wandering the streets of DC, I call BS. Something tells me Charles, son of Hoskin, is meeting up with some congressmen to discuss national integration of Cardano. So this tweet highlights integration of Cardano and the government side of things, but I also think there is some, regulation talk going on here. And I think Charles is one of the, panelists. Obviously, this might not be publicly known, and I think this could be completely wrong speculation, but I think there's a good chance he's there to help, right? I think there's a good chance he's there to educate people and bring his opinions and experience of blockchain technology to the government and to the people over there, to the senators and things like that. So, Senate Banking Committee presses crypto experts at systemic risk adhering. And I don't live in the States, so this isn't all that clear to me, but there's some interesting things in this article about the hearing. And in this hearing, which was last Tuesday, before Charles Hoskinson was in DC, they brought on a bunch of crypto industry experts to talk about systemic risks in a hearing titled "Cryptocurrencies, What Are They Good For?" Right? And in this article, they outlined how Senator Elizabeth Warren actually pointed out that their financial systems right now are in the, points of power, but they rather that over, some shadowy faceless groups of super coders and miners running the system, which doesn't sound better to the senator. But here's the thing, right? There's always going to be complexities with evolving technology, and not everyone can understand those complexities. It's like the internet, right? When the internet came out, not everyone understood what the heck was going on. It doesn't mean that it's evil or it's a bad thing. It's just not the most simple concept to wrap your head around, especially when you haven't had internet before. So what is not familiar to people is going to be rejected. And maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe I'm stupid and this is terrible. All the super coders and miners are going to send us into economic downturn, right? But here's the thing. People like Charles are going to come over here and help educate the people who need to be educated, to help bring a positive light, a good attitude, and a lot more experience to the panel, right? That's why they have experts here. And there's always going to be opposing views and beliefs, which is why cryptocurrency is going to be hard to get regulated. It's going to be a lot of work, and it has to be kind of pushed through relentlessly to get towards something that is actually beneficial to cryptocurrency and the progress of cryptocurrency in regulations. Another thing that this article highlights is that lawmakers were fixated on two major themes: the reality of cryptocurrencies, decentralized nature. Cardano is a big part of that decentralized nature, and they play a big part of the roadmap to decentralization, 1/5 of their whole roadmap. That is the fact that it doesn't rely on centralized authorities like banks, and system failures in the crypto markets that could ripple over to the traditional financial system. So two things that are definitely points of worries, but it's hard to really tell how these things could play out, how crypto could disrupt central authorities like banks, and how crypto could have a failure in their markets that ripple over to traditional financial systems. It's really hard to pinpoint how these things could play out. And more on systemic risk, lawmakers also pressed the panel about developing problems in cryptocurrency cascading into the financial system, as we just talked about. Now, more on systemic risks, Brito added that even a bug could pose as a systemic risk to digital currencies invested in the hedge funds and others. The same could be said for any commodity though, and cryptocurrencies are ultimately commodities. Another important point on systemic risk in this article was that Brito of Coin Center made, and that's US shouldn't shy away from cryptocurrencies. Instead, they should be putting guardrails up for hedge funds and other market participants like retail investors. Things that protect them but don't necessarily take away their ability to participate in the system. Now, that's not a simple answer either, right? There's so much things that go along with that, but in the end, Brito of Coin Center added that even though a bug could pose a systemic threat to digital currencies invested in by hedge funds and others, the same could be said for just about any commodity. And in the end, the conclusion was that cryptocurrencies are ultimately commodities. So, to summarize all of this, we're just having some speculative fun, but I really do think that people like Charles Hoskinson and many other experts in the cryptocurrency space are going to be pushing regulation hard and are going to be pushing it in a direction that doesn't take down cryptocurrencies or set them back a few years. Cryptocurrencies are super new, they're super innovative, and having taxes and having laws that surround them and include them is not going to be a 2-month thing. It's going to be something that evolves as cryptocurrencies evolve, and I really do hope that Charles is one of the main pillars in helping make proper regulations going forward in the crypto space. That being said, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of me talking to the camera and speculating in my mom's basement or something like that. And if you did, please consider smashing the like button and staking with the stake pool jack to earn passive ADA on your ADA. Anyways, peace out. Have a great day. See you next one.